Revenge Films.
My name is Jonathan. I'm the owner of a bar in the city, and I'm in my 30s. When I was opening up my bar and trying to find a good location for it, I've been working with my friend, who was in real estate, named Nelson. Nelson was the one who introduced me to a young woman named Maria. Maria liked to talk, and she also loved to drink. And before I knew it, she'd become a regular customer at the bar. And on that night, Maria had also come to visit me at the bar.
Is it true that bars make a lot of money?
I guess you could say so.
Oh, really? Well, that's interesting. Working at a bar is so fancy and cool. And I also love to drink alcohol, so it seems really fun. I really admire it.
That's a good point. I think that this job would suit you.
Do you really think so?
That was when Maria started to come forward. Yeah, I think so. I was a little bit shocked, and I didn't know how to respond. When I tried to respond positively, and then she backed down a little bit.
But I am worried whether I'd be able to make money or not.
Compared to most cafes or diners, the average customer check at a bar is a lot higher.
What? But I totally thought that a diner would make way more money, especially since you can order all kinds of food and they also have drinks.
That's not necessarily the case. You know, when you look at the drinks on the menu bar, they're pretty decently priced, right? I opened up a menu and showed her, as I continued to explain. Most customers drink multiple glasses before they leave, and on top of that, the percentage of profit is also higher than most restaurants. You don't need as many employees like a diner would, and you also don't have to purchase as many ingredients either.
So, does that mean that you also have a lot of savings, Jonathan?
As if. I ended up borrowing quite a lot of money in order to open up this bar. Although, more than anything, the land around this area has been getting exponentially higher, so I think it was a really good call to get it when I did anyway.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's amazing.
So that's why, if I ever need to prepare, say, $20,000 or $30,000 for something, I would probably have to sell this place to get that much money. Even though I was saying it half jokingly, it was the truth. I didn't have much savings.
I see. That makes sense.
Maria then nodded, as if it all made sense to her, and then she said the most outrageous thing.
Hey, how would you like to hire a future brilliant bartender for life?
Huh?
What I'm saying is that even though I'm still a beginner, I'm pretty sure that I would be able to be a good bartender. And plus, I really like you, Jonathan. So that's why I want to marry you. Please? Would that be okay?
Maria was looking up at me with puppy eyes, and I tried to laugh it off and respond jokingly. You're so funny, Maria. It's like that joke where they proposed by saying, "Please make me soup for the rest of my life."
Oh, come on. I'm actually being serious. I really love you, Jonathan. I want to spend the rest of my life with you.
This was happening at a bar after a number of drinks. I tried to gently tell her that she must be drunk, and for that evening, I brushed off the question and didn't give any answer. However, the next night, Maria came back to the bar and once again professed her love to me. Perhaps because I mentioned that she was drunk the night before, this time she made sure to tell me that she was sober and asked me once again. But little by little, I found myself under the spell of her passion, and I became more drawn to her. 1 month later, Maria and I did in fact get married. The deciding factor was actually our mutual friend, the real estate agent Nelson. He came into the bar not long after that and kept complimenting her a lot. He was praising her, and then as the cherry on top, he said, "I'm sure that you and Maria would be an amazing couple together," and he nudged me in that direction. However, I realized after we got married that even though it was true that she did love alcohol, she really wasn't fit to be on the side making the drinks at all. I was trying to teach her about all kinds of cocktails and how to make them, but the harder that they became, she would say,
This is almost like studying in school. I think I'll pass on that one.
And she would just brush it off and not take any of it seriously. I was pretty troubled by this, but luckily, I've always been able to take care of the bar without her. It doesn't look like this brilliant bartender is ever going to exist. But, well, that's fine. At home, as my wife, she was doing her best to take care of the household chores, and as long as we were a married couple, the most important thing was for us to support each other and to play to both of our strengths and weaknesses. However, even though she used to come to my bar almost every single night of the week, after she became my wife, she almost never came to the bar. I was starting to think that maybe she was getting tired of drinking alcohol, But then there were days that she would come home reeking of alcohol late at night, very obviously drunk. When I would ask her about it, her reason would always be something like,
I was meeting up with some of my old girlfriends.
and she would brush me off. To be honest, at that time, I didn't really suspect her of having an affair. That's because she was the one that chased after me for marriage so much. And not only that, but it hadn't even been 2 months since we got married. It felt like we were still in the honeymoon phase. And as for things in the bedroom, they were pretty consistent as well. There was no reason to suspect her of having an affair at this stage. If anything, it would have been strange if I did. However, and just a few short days after that, I was going to discover that she was indeed cheating on me. That was because I just so happened to find a receipt to a hotel in the trash can of our bedroom. We never had visitors, and my wife and I were the ones who threw our trash in the apartment. And if it wasn't me, then of course that would mean that my wife threw out that receipt. Luckily, one of the regulars at the bar was a detective, and so I spoke to him about it, and formally asked him to launch an investigation. And in an instant, he was able to gather evidence that my wife was having an affair with none other than Nelson. That night, my wife came home drunk again, and so I confronted her with the evidence. But her reaction was unexpected, and she was quick to admit to the affair.
You finally noticed? Even today, just now, I was drinking with Nelson before we went to the hotel.
Maria was laughing, and so I quietly questioned her. How long has this been going on?
What do you think? When do you think it started?
Is it right after we got married?
Nope, wrong.
And then my wife started cracking up in an awful high-pitched sound.
The correct answer is since before we got married.
But why would you do such a thing?
You know, I actually love Nelson. I want to do anything for him. I want him to look at me a lot more than his wife.
That's right. Nelson was also married, which meant that this was a double affair between two married people.
And that's why, for Nelson's sake, I'm going to receive a settlement fee of $30,000 from you. And then we're also planning on taking that bar from you as well.
Huh?
You must be shocked, aren't you? But this was all part of the plan. I'm such a good actress. And I'm the woman. I can also get a settlement fee. It's the best. And plus, if you have to pay $30,000, then you're not going to have any choice but to let go of that bar. When that happens, don't worry. Nelson and I will run the bar for you. Oh, but I wouldn't mind hiring you part-time as one of the bartenders if you want. It's the perfect plan, isn't it?
Now that I think about it, this woman was so bad at studying, she couldn't even remember a basic cocktail recipe for the most simple drinks. I can only imagine that when it comes to basic life skills, she probably didn't learn much either. About this plan of yours, have you spoken to Nelson about it?
As if. I just had him help me so that I would be able to get married to you. But Nelson's birthday is coming up soon, so this is going to be my surprise gift to him. And the gift is going to be $30,000 in a fancy bar in the middle of the city. Isn't that the best?
I was so shocked by her cluelessness that I couldn't even bring myself to respond. Well then, why don't I also prepare a surprise gift for him? And that surprise gift would be that I'd be going through a lawyer and getting a divorce from Maria, as well as collecting a settlement fee from both Maria and Nelson for the extramarital affair. When they received my present, Maria suddenly came barging into the bar during business hours and threw a tantrum.
What? What's going on here? What is the settlement fee of $30,000? I'm the woman. Why should I have to be paying any settlement fee? Obviously, the settlement fee is for the woman to get in the divorce, right?
You're such an idiot. Why don't you pull out your cell phone and just look it up really quickly? I'm sure you'll be able to find very easily that a settlement fee is to be paid by the person who caused damages. So why, as the one who's cheated on in the marriage, should I have to apologize to you and pay a settlement fee to you? With that, Maria seemed to finally realize she had made a very big mistake, and then her cell phone started to ring. I could only imagine it was from Nelson.
What's the matter? Nelson, why are you yelling at me in such a loud voice? What? You're getting fired from your company because of me? And that your wife is divorcing you and a settlement fee. But wait, why? What? What's going on?
And then Maria looked over at me, so I filled her in. Of course, I'm also going to be collecting a settlement fee from Nelson for having the extramarital affair, knowing I was married. But it looks like his company found out, and so did his wife, and that she's going to be suing him as well.
What? What? This isn't how it was supposed to be. The settlement fee. Why should I, as the woman, and then Nelson... Well, then who's going to be getting this bar then?
This bar has always been mine. It was never yours, and it was definitely never Nelson's either. Apparently, Nelson was also divorced by his wife, and she sued him for a settlement fee. Combined with mine, I'm sure it was going to be more than $50,000. Not only was that a lot of money to pay up front, he was fired from a real estate agency in the middle of the city, so I can only imagine it'll be difficult for him to get the money or to find another job. Just the other day, Nelson came to the bar to try to apologize to me. Jonathan, I'm sorry. I really didn't mean to cause any harm with this. You and we're friends, aren't we? The only reason why you were able to get this busy bar is because I chose this perfect plot of land for you. Isn't that right?
That's right. Even though Nelson used to have such a high salary, he was suddenly fired from his job. Don't you feel sorry for him?
Maria, Nelson, you both did this to yourselves. Although, Nelson, you had to deal with the consequences of Maria's idiotic plan, which I can't help but laugh about. Damn it, Maria! You're so stupid! What made you think that even though the woman was the one who cheated, she'd be able to get us a settlement fee for you? Obviously that would never be the case!
You are awful. Because I was doing this all for you. I was trying to get the money and the bar for you.
The two of them were just going at each other in the bar, so I kicked them out like the trash that they were. Just because she was a woman, she wasn't taking life seriously, and once again, she made another mistake. This time, she thought that she could open up a bar based on the close to zero knowledge that she had, and she even took out a loan from the bank. They opened up a bar without knowing what to do at all, and apparently, both she and Nelson have only gone into debt. By now, I'm sure they're deep in the depths of dead hell. As for me, I'm actually thinking about opening up my second bar location. Of course, this time, I'm going to be a lot more picky about the real estate agent and the bartenders that I hire.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.